Hey, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Good to have you here as always. So tonight, yes, part 3 of the interview with Tomas Bisson from Steelcapped Strength. Yep, the finale of his interview. And in this episode, we talk about his redemption, how he left the movement, and what his life's like now. So let's get into it. So after all of that madness, years of craziness and that event, when did you actually get out, and what made you leave the whole movement, all that life? Because you were in it for a long fucking time. So why did you leave?
I started I started to think about it for many years before I left it. I couldn't get the politics 100, and how would I say? Some part of me had always said this is fucking wrong, and the other half said it was I had no other choice. But the thing is, this is not an excuse, but when I was out in Europe for many years, I started to play live. We were the headlines everywhere, and free alcohol. And I was born an addict because my mother was drinking very much when she carried me in her womb. So, but I lost myself, and like I told you before, people were betting if we could manage to get a gig or if we were going to be too drunk. So I just went to become that idiot Bisson, the crazy, chaotic, drunken skinhead, So that was a part of my life, everyday life, at the end, the last years then. So I still were in the scene and made some troubadour evenings, drunk at different clubs and stuff like that. But I really was out of my way there, tasting some drugs, and just everything went mad. I lost kids because my way of life in custody and stuff like that. Yeah, but. It was 2021. I was almost killed. It was a guy, an ex-friend, who broke a whiskey glass here, so he crushed the vein. So I went to the hospital, and then I decided I have to leave this shit. I'm too old for it, and I don't stand for it anymore. And I worked with another criminal organization, like a mob. We were carpenters at daytime and like torpedoes at the evening,
Wow.
drugs, money. Yeah. So I have learned to know people from other countries, from other races, and I saw there is no difference between us. So I had to leave this shit. I become very good friends with people with other colors, So the white power bullshit. I just felt that I had to get out in
Sure.
sort of way. So 2021, I was going to take my life, suicide, because I lost everything. I had a home, lived in the slept at coaches back at friend's place, apartment, stuff like that. So it was around, right before Christmas time. I was going to jump in front of a train, really drunk, a little bit high. So I went to the train station. To make a long story short, I went to the railway and sat down when it was dark, and so no one could see me, and just waited for the train. And suddenly I heard a voice behind me again. They said, "Move the fuck out! I'm gonna kill myself." I thought, "What the fuck am I dreaming?" I was a drunken guy who come, "Move it! This is my spot. I'm gonna kill myself too." I said, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" So everything ended up in a fucking fist fight. Who was going to kill himself first? So someone heard and saw the shit, called the police, and suddenly I woke up at the psychic center myself. So
Crazy.
that's where I started to think about what I was going to do. So it ended up with a recare, treatment center for addiction
Sure.
criminals. Yeah. So I was there for 9 months. But there was when it happened for me, and this will sound very stupid. I'm writing a book, and it's almost done, and it will be called in Swedish, of course, but it means the fox and the cross, I think.
Okay.
Because I went for a stroll by myself when I've done around 7 months at the recare, and I was sitting in a forest just trying to meditate, take it easy, and behind me I heard it sounds like a dog who is on acid. What the fuck is that? So it stands a little fox looking at me and barking. What the fuck? It's going to bite me? Or so I stand up and he back a little bit. And when I'm still standing at the same spot, he looking at me, but join me, for fuck's sake, in his eyes. He just had eye contact, the fox and me. And I thought, am I dreaming? You know, and now I was totally sober for almost 9 months. So it was no imagination or something like that. So he started to go away a bit, and then he stayed and watched me like, come. You know, it was very, very strange. So I followed him. So I went for a couple of meters. He went, then he stayed, I stayed. And then we went a bit like that. And suddenly he go to a little ditch on the right side and sitting down and waiting for me, just looking. So I go to him, and then he went about a meter from me. He went really fast to the woods and disappeared. And there is two wood pieces of wood, put like a cross and a white feather. I know it sounds stupid. I don't believe it was an angel. There wasn't that. It was a bird. But the sight of it, you know, when I saw it, it was. I'm not a Christian. I don't belong to any churches or something like that. But it was like an awakening. I can't explain what happened, but I was, oh shit, that's the answer for my questions. Wow. You know, it sounds stupid, psychic, crazy, but
and it's I know from my personal experience, when everything comes together, when you finally reach that point where everything makes sense and you've let go of everything, you start to see signs. You will start to get signs that you're on the right path. And I've had many. I've had my own. So yeah, it's not crazy, brother.
Yeah.
You know, that was all part of you know, the universe telling you you're doing the good thing. You're fucking you found your path. You found your journey, and the fox was showing you that way.
So. Yeah. So after that shit, the good shit, I mean, it started to come numbers to me. For the first, in the beginning, I didn't care less about it. It was 11:11 every time. When I watched the phone, 11:11, all right, and I watched the TV, 11:11, and when people talk to me, hi, Bisson, now I'm free. I'm going out from this weekend tomorrow. I came 11th May, and now I've been sober for 11th month. And this number chased me, so I had to Google it. And I thought, what is this? And then I discovered it was thousands of people around the world. I think it's still experienced, and it still is for me today. I will see it today. I saw it yesterday, 11:11.
Yeah.
Wherever I am, on workplace, wherever I am.
And it's the same again. And then, once you're in alignment, you start seeing these things.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So, you know, and the more you're in alignment, the more you see it, and the more you go, oh, fucking hell, it's everywhere.
Yeah, it's sick, but it feels good. And now today I have a really good life. The anxiety I was talking about is almost totally gone. Wow. I can meet problems today without drinking or being mad. And I have a newborn daughter, she's 1 year and 3 months, I think. Best girlfriend. We play music together, me and my girlfriend. Hey. So.
And how many years did you spend in that movement trying to get where you are now?
To be honest, 2010 was the first time when I started to question myself for real. When I met a guy, I was going to borrow an amplifier. And this, a friend to me called. This was, I lived 10 miles from here, and I moved back home. This is 2010. And two old friends who weren't skinny anything. They told me they saw I didn't was feeling too good in my life. So they said, come and play some rockabilly music and rock and roll with us just for fun. Yeah, I can do that. To go away from the hateful way of life and drinking. So we're going to rehearse, and my amplifier dies. And the other guy said, I have a friend you can borrow, blah, blah, blah. So I said, you just go to that address, and he go out with the amplifier. And I go with my car, and there's a dude, I think I told you before about it, but it was colored. And I was, but no, it can't be him, you know. So I went with my car, another load, and then he was the only guy who was black and stood with an amplifier, so it had to be him. And it was the right address. So I went down to the car, and he was so kind. He spoke as good as Swedish as I do, because he was adopted, that guy. And then I started to think after that, the only difference there between him and me was the color of his skin. So what the fuck am I doing, you know? But I couldn't leave. I was too involved in this shit and too down in my addiction. I should have backed that. I should never have continued when my friend got stabbed to death, you know. But
Yeah, but how often did you ignore those signs? You know, I mean, everyone does it. We get signs all the way through our life, and that's where we make the wrong fucking choices, brother. You know, it's like, oh no, I'll go back to this, but then eventually, as it happened to you, you know, it all came crashing down, and you were forced to leave it. You know, and now what the last 4 or 5 years of your life have been everything you always wanted in life, but could never achieve. You know, so that's such a massive fucking change, brother. You know, I'm proud of you. Congratulations for doing it, man. So, because I know it's not easy. So yeah, your life's amazing now. I can fucking.
It is.
Yeah.
I have the best job today with colleagues who treat me like an ordinary working colleague as a friend. They don't drag about my past and stuff like that. They just, hey Thomas, can you do that? You know, I'm a caretaker at the hotel.
Wow.
The best work I can have. Yeah, and this is so funny because in the book at the end, and I just writing. Today I know what I was searching for. You know, the whole life I've been through with, you know, shootouts, shit. I've been through a lot of that shit. And violence, shit, and alcohol and drugs, you know, all the chaos. The only thing I was searching for was to sit in a home watching bingo on television with a girlfriend and eating snacks and drinking coffee. But it's a strange way to search for it.
Isn't it? It really is. Holy shit.
Talking about serenity.
Man, you know, it's like instead of going from here to here, you went fucking everywhere to get to there, you know? It's like fucking things we do, you know? But, you know, so where do you go forward now? Like, I know you're writing your book, which is going to be out soon, which we're all fucking really looking forward to. But what's in the future for you now, brother?
The future for me now is just looking at bingo on television now. But, no, but my family comes first in everything I do. My job, the book, of course, and then we play music again. Me and my girlfriend, she's a very good singer, and we play our kind of outlaw country ballads and stuff, and singing about true shit.
Nice.
My girlfriend has been living before me in domestic violence and stuff like that. She sings about that in a song we wrote. It's on YouTube called "Damaged Wings."
Okay, great.
Really good.
Great. Oh, yeah, and I've already shared one of your videos. I will share more.
Thanks for that. Yeah. So we started as fun to play because she's a musician and I'm a musician, and we did it in the kitchen table. And one evening she filmed it and dropped it on Facebook, and people really liked it. So then we tried. Now we've been into the studio, and now people want to reach out to come and do some gigs. It's cool.
Good, great. So I mean, again, everything's looking up for you.
And this time I'm not out to be someone. Just I want my this time I want my songs maybe to touch to touch someone. Think.
If
not just
if music should have a message, it should be a message of love anyway, not hate.
Yeah.
You know. So I mean, fuck. You know. Right. Absolutely. That's what it's about, man. You know, and you know, you wouldn't have done that fucking 15 years ago, would you?
No. I wouldn't even show them.
No. Right. And that's, you know, I mean, like, if there's one thing I've learned from my experiences with all these people that I've met throughout the life, you know, the thing I really love to see the most is the true, genuine smile on everyone's face that comes from things like love and happiness and not hating. You know, that's what really fucking sticks with me. And, you know, back then, I'd look at people and say, why don't you fucking smile? And when you laugh, you're only laughing at the misery of others.
Exactly.
And now it's like, fuck, you know, I can look at someone and smile and they smile back. That's the best fucking feeling in the world, man. Like, you can't beat that.
Yeah.
You know? So,
it is. And just to wake up in the morning and just don't feel afraid, because everything is about fear and afraid. Yes. That I can speak for myself. I don't have the right to speak about other people, but I believe we have the same feeling, because inside we're still that unsure little child, you know?
Yes. Yes.
some way.
Yes, we are. We're
So that's why we acted like we did.
yeah, and I mean, all of us, we all had some form of trauma. For you, it was alcoholic parents. Myself, it was abusive parents. And we don't have everything we need as a child growing up to be well balanced, in our lives. That's how we end up in these groups because we're missing something. So we go looking for
Yeah.
this, but we don't know what we're fucking missing half the time. And a lot of the time we end up with hatred around us, or anger and violence. So, you know,
And if you can't be loved, at least you could be hated.
yeah, yeah. And it's unfortunately, that much hate you can't deal with it. I mean, you can even fucking have too much love. To be honest, everything needs to be in good balance.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but it is hard. As an old scumbag and addicted person, where's the limit?
Yeah, right.
You
Well,
know?
we don't know because we're not taught, and I say that all along, if we can reach these kids before they even get into that and start showing them there's, you need to have balance and things, you need to fucking approach things from a different way. If you have hate for this, you should find love for this and it'll balance. Yeah, all that kind of good stuff that will help them. So, and that's where what we're doing now with your book and with my channel, we can help these kids and fucking maybe save them from getting into that shit life and wasting 20 years of their lives and losing friends, losing fucking everyone, So, but, and
Exactly.
in saying that, do you have any advice for anyone thinking about getting into the scene? Because there's a lot of young kids out there are fans of your old music, and they probably would like to hear something from you. And if it's if you can inspire them to take a new path or look at themselves, what would you say?
First of all, just look at what happened to me, where I ended. In many people's eyes back then, people who didn't knew me, never met me, just seen me at gigs and met me afterwards. We have a drink and we share stories about crazy stuff. I was never the big white power rock and roll star who had money, girls, and people were afraid of me. The only thing was I was the one who was afraid. When people didn't see me, I cried in my loneliness and drank because I was so miserable with my own fucking life. I ended up with debt to society. I ended up without an own home. I lost my kids, just because I pretend to be a big badass motherfucker, which I never were. And one more stupid thing, Tommy from Final War, the man.
Yes.
When you was speaking about when you leave this shit, when you are in it, you only allow yourself to listen to a certain kind of music, the white power shit. You can't watch the television programs you really like. You can't watch Seinfeld because they have
Is it Jew?
Yeah, exactly. Stupid shit like that. You discover a whole new world when you leave it.
Yeah.
You can talk with whatever, whichever, whoever,
Yeah.
and you can listen to whatever you want. You can watch. You can do. We always sang and speak about break your shackles and chains from this society. What the fuck? You just cuff yourself up when you're living in it.
Yeah, yeah, and
Yeah.
you are literally limiting yourself to world experiences, that will help you grow and become a better person, because, like, oh, fuck, Buddhism, that's fucking Asian bullshit. Buddhism changed my fucking life. I wouldn't have discovered that if I had been a fucking part of all that world still. So, don't. I mean, if the white civilization had more to fucking offer, then more people would be going, yeah, whites only.
Yeah. No, but that's my advice. Just, I'm not the Messiah or God or anyone who has the right to tell anyone how they should live their lives, but please think before you act, because when you're in it, it's so fucking hard to leave it.
It is.
It is. And when you're in it, it's like a church or something, the crazy ones. you're not allowed to have a free mind to question things. Nothing.
Yep.
But because then now I am a traitor to that cause, but I don't give a fuck about it.
Yeah.
But you have no free will.
No.
And we always speak about it. Free will, smash democracy, fucking hell. But it's a prison. You imprison yourself if you're going through it. Trust me, I've been there.
And the reality of it is you become ostracized, like you become left out from the rest of society because they don't want to be associated with a fucking racist Nazi.
Exactly.
So you're really cutting yourself off even further. Like, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't fucking do it.
Yeah, and we said to ourselves, we're doing this for our people. Yeah. Meanwhile, our own people, that we call them, hate us.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, one of my greatest friends, who was a president of one of the very big bike clubs, said to me, you know what, us bikers are hated, but you Nazis are hated fucking way worse than anyone.
Yeah, but it's true.
True,
it's
it is fucking true. Absolutely,
Yeah.
you know. Fucking, you know, I even said it in my dating video. Really limits your fucking chances of dating.
Yeah, still laughing when I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, light power Skinhead as well. I gotta go.
Shit. But that's it, you know, like, don't limit yourself, man. Fuck it. You know, the world is something to be experienced, and if you have limiting beliefs, because racism is a very limiting belief, then you're
it's
not,
the only thing we speak.
like, you're not going to experience fucking everything this life has to offer. Like, and that's what this life is about. Experiencing everything good and bad. But, and fuck it, you know, just, that's my advice to any young guys. Fuck this, fuck the Nazis, fuck any of those nationalist movements. Do it on your own. Go live your own life. Experience life for yourself and help others. Help everyone. That's what it's about.
Yeah. Help everyone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait a second.
Sure.
Just a second. Now I'm back.
Nice.
With a little surprise. Come here, Marlon. It's like a thanks.
Excellent. Hi, Marlon. Good to meet you.
Hi.
How are you?
We're going to finish with a little old song here.
Perfect.
Go away from my window. Leave at your own shows and speak.
Sorry, but my battery actually ran out at this point. So this performance from Tomas and Marlon was actually just for me. And it was actually a thank you to me. So I am truly grateful. I just wanted to thank Tomas for sharing his story and his experiences and everything he's doing now. I wish him all the best in the future, and of course we will be doing more together. We've got a lot planned. Hopefully I'll be in Sweden next year partying with him. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you being here. And hey, if you want to keep supporting me and keep supporting the channel, there's many different ways you can do it. You can buy me coffees. You can buy my merchandise, Patreon, memberships, all that good stuff. I have it all. All of the links are in the description below. And as always, if you can just give this video a big like, subscribe down below and hit the little bell to get notified, you'll be seeing new videos from me every week. That's it for me. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you next week on the channel. Peace out and love and light to you.
What kind of feelings are you talking about? Is it about love and hate? Or is it something's gonna make me wanna shout? Or is it just something great?
Don't come to me and brag about your old sins. It won't impress me at all. To be a sinner, I was one of those queens until I dropped and fall. Everybody hates on each other.
Everybody seems so low.
Search your truth and look in the mirror.
Don't fall on the floor.
Do like me and just let it go.
What kind of views are you fighting for? That you try to force upon the others? Are you the one that are preaching for war? Then I'm not your kind of brother.
I won't back down, I will follow my path. Don't try to stand in my way. I cleanse my soul of the devil's wrath. We all got heavenly bills to pay. Everybody hates on each other.
Everybody seems so low.
Search your truth and look in your mirror.
Don't follow the flow.
Do like me and just let it go.
Let it go.
Let it go. Woo!
Let it go, baby.
Everybody hates on each other.
Everybody seems so low.
Search your truth and look